Hello, I'm Jewel, and I am 6 months post the layoff. So I've spent a half a year unemployed and traveling the world. So this season has truly been very rich, very fruitful, and just amazing. But as I travel the world, I have been, since I've been laid off, I've been to, I think, like 12 states in the United States. So I went on a road trip that included like 10 states. And in addition, I've been to two other states on some random visits. I've also been slow traveling through South America since September, actually. And so I've spent 2 months in Colombia, like 2.5 months in Colombia. While I was in Colombia, I also popped over to Ecuador and Peru for some time. And then I went to Guatemala, and I've been in Brazil, and I'm in Brazil right now, where I've been since the beginning of the year. So I've been in Brazil for a little over 2 months now. So it's been good time being unemployed and seeing the world, traveling. It's truly been a dream come true, because when I was working, I'm like, if only I could just travel the world for full time. If only I can live abroad and truly be immersed in the culture and just see the world. So unfortunately, it was a loss in the beginning, but it has truly turned out to be a very beautiful and rich season. So one of the questions, I've gotten it a lot over the last couple of days, because I've just been out interacting with people, is that when I tell people, they're always like, so how long are you here? When are you leaving? I'm like, I've been here for 2 months. Still figuring out when I'm leaving. I might apply for, to stay longer and things like that. And they're like, oh, okay. So what do you do? And I'm always like, just live. I'm just living. I'm just vibing. And that's the reality of what it is. Like, I'm just living and I'm vibing. But what they really want to know is, how am I sustaining life? And so, if I'm being completely honest, how am I sustaining life? You want to know my secret? I'm gonna tell y'all my secret, because lately I've been yapping anyways. I've been telling you all my business. So I'm just gonna let you know how I've been surviving. I am living off of a trust fund. Yes. I trust God to fund my life. But for real, it's really been my faith that has sustained and carried me, and knowing that all things are working out for my good. So I have not had a moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, I think the payment's not gonna make. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna get here? Money's running out. No. I'm living off of a trust fund, but within that trust fund, there are different parts. And so within that trust fund, I do have money that, once I was laid off, my job did gift me with a going away gift, aka I received a severance pay. They had to pay me some act pay for a warrant act pay, since they did not inform me 60 days before they let me off. So I was entitled to a warrant act pay. I also was entitled to my bonus for the time that I had worked last year. So it included like 9 months. So that I also qualified for unemployment. So of course I applied for that. And also what has given me a lot of comfort is knowing that I prepared for this season. I really did prepare for this season. I was prepared for an early retirement, but instead I was laid off, but I was prepared for it. You know how they say prepare for war in a time of peace. So I had money that I was putting to the side, saving and investing. And so that's how I've been like surviving. But like I said, I think the biggest thing is that, I trust that it's working out. There's no doubt in my mind that God would take me anywhere and just leave me there. So my faith has really been carrying me. In addition, I have a lot of healthy habits with money, and so that helps too. I only make intentional purchases. Even now when I'm out traveling, I'm looking at like what's essential. And so obviously essential for me is food, because I need food. So, I'll purchase food. I'll pay for like a good experience, for different things. I tend to stay away from like the tourist traps. Like if it's something really touristy and it's like, I can do that in any other country, it's not exclusive to the country that I'm in, I'm probably gonna skip it, because 9 times out of 10, I probably have done that before. So I'll do that. I don't have FOMO. Like I don't have fear of missing out. It's not like, oh, I just have to do it. I'm like, you know what? Listen, I'm in Brazil. I've been in Brazil for 2 months. If I don't make it to every event, trust me, I will be okay. I'm doing really well. So that helps too. And I mean, the biggest thing I really had to test my FOMO is that I was in Rio last month for a month, and I actually exited Rio because Rio had got too expensive for me because we're in carnival season. And so Rio, I think it was gonna be like $2,000 a week for me to stay in Rio for the next couple of weeks. And so with me traveling full time, paying $2,000 a month for housing only, it's just a little bit more expensive for me, and it's just not affordable. So people were like, "You're gonna leave during carnival?" Yeah, I'm gonna leave during carnival. Like I'm not gonna. I don't feel like I'm missing out, especially since now with me being in Brazil for 2 months, carnival is really about drinking and partying, and I'm not the drinking and partying girl, so I'm not missing out on anything. Like, so that really helps that I don't have FOMO. I'm not doing anything to prove to anyone. I don't have to go to certain things so that I can post it on the internet and show people that I was here. Actually, half of my life I don't even post on the internet. I have some amazing experiences, and I don't post them on the internet. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. I'm not trying to buy anyone or anything like that. I'm really strict when it comes to spending my money, and I have healthy habits with money. I don't drink, so I don't spend money on drinking like alcohol and stuff like that. I do tend to eat out a little bit more, but it's more of a social thing, so I do budget for that. What else do I not do? I don't have to buy something everywhere I go. I really try to make, very good quality purchases when it comes to things like my clothing. I've built like a capsule wardrobe, so I have no problem wearing the same thing. So you may see me wearing the same thing multiple times. I have nothing to prove to anyone. That's what works for me. Plus, I'm only carrying a carry-on and a personal item, so I'm trying to keep my luggage down, to small amounts anyways. And so that helps, knowing that I don't have a big luggage, so that stops me from making a lot of different purchases and spending money just like on clothing. Although I have brought some pieces, and I may continue to buy some pieces because I will start to change things out, but that's huge for me too, that I'm not just spending money and just buying things all the time. Believe it or not eating meat is cheap. But that's not the reason why I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat for health benefits, but that's another video if I decide to share that, but whatever. And so really the biggest thing is that I prioritize traveling. Even when I work full time, traveling is what I like to spend my money on. So that's how I afford to travel. The biggest thing is that I'm living off of a trust fund. I trust God to fund this life for as long as as long as He desires for me to be in this space. And that's that. And then my healthy habits that I have with money. If I would establish healthy habits years ago with money, saving money, figuring out how to live off of like 30% of my income, then I probably would have some problems now. I wouldn't be able to afford to live the way that I do. And so also with me traveling, I am not budget traveling. I am on a budget, but I am not budget traveling, if that makes sense. This is like the time of my life. So if there's something that I do want, I do spend money on it. I do pay more for accommodations. I pay for safety, because with me traveling, that I definitely could do the more affordable way and just stay in a hostel. But at this point, I know that hostels are just not the most desirable accommodations for me. Just based on my characteristics and the things that I like. So traveling and being unemployed is really not that hard. It's not that complicated. And I am applying to be a stay-at-home wife. So, if you know somebody that want to fund this lifestyle, let me know. Tell them to slide in my DMs. No, I'm just kidding. Not really, but yeah. So at any rate, I hope that sheds a little light on how I afford to travel, and maybe gives you a little encouragement on how you can actually travel. That's that. I hope you know that you are deserving of everything that your heart desires. You're deserving of the life that you desire. You're deserving of the relationships that you desire. And so you really are. And I hope you know that.